4. So I figured that I would tell y'all about the time that I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me while I'm with him in LA on his work trip. This is crazy, but I figured I'd share because I'm healed, I'm over it, and I think that it's laughable at this point because he's a clown, he's a joke. But anyway, so this is 2003. We're in a relationship at this point for 3 years, and he asked me to go with him on a work trip to LA. I said, of course, and the trip at first was great. We landed in LA. It was fine. No complaints, no arguments leading up to that. Because again, we were a toxic ass couple because clearly he was just ain't shit ass nigga. But anyway, we get to LA and he has a team dinner and he decides he's gonna go on the team dinner. And I said, okay, well, I just don't want to sit in the hotel by myself. So I'm gonna just meet up with some of my old coworkers who also live in LA for a dinner. So I decided to go out with 2 of my old coworkers who happened to, well, one of them lived in LA at the time and the other one was just visiting LA. So we get to the dinner and, you know, you just catch up. You start talking about life. You start talking about, you know, the things you're doing. And then it came down to them asking me why essentially I was in LA. And I was like, oh, I'm with my boyfriend. He has a work trip. So I'm just out here, you know, we just decided to make a vacation out of it. So we're talking, and I've talked to these coworkers before about my boyfriend, but for some reason, I guess I never said his name in conversation while we're catching up on life. But this particular time, I say his name. I say, yeah, do-do-do-do-do, here, da-da-da, right? So one of our coworkers just stops mid-conversation, and she's just looking at me, and I'm just looking at her like, girl, what's up? So long story short, she goes to like question me and like, is he, you know, so she then proceeds to basically like double check that we're talking about the same person. So she's like, did he go to this school for college? Is he in this organization? Does he live here? Does he work here? And everything she's saying is accurate. She basically gave me a rundown of this man's occupation, where he graduated from, his alma mater, his current occupation, where he lives, where his, like everything but his fucking social. So I'm like, yeah, we are definitely talking about the same person. So she's like, he actually is dating my friend. And at this point, my mouth fucking hits the fucking table because I'm like, what? I'm literally out here in LA with this guy, and this is what I found out at this random ass link up with my old coworkers. So she's like, I'm just gonna double check and make sure, but it sounds like the exact same guy. So she steps out and calls her friend on FaceTime, and I, at this point, am livid because I know for a fact we talk about the same person, because a woman's intuition is never wrong. Never. The entire 3 years that we were together, I felt like something was off, and I would call him out on things, and he was a master manipulator. He always found a way to make himself seem like the victim, and in the situations where my intuition was like at its highest peak and felt like something was wrong, but I didn't have like tangible, actual physical proof, he would flip it on me and be like, you have trust issues and it's reflecting in our relationship. So it made me feel like I was a problem. Like, granted, I didn't trust his ass, but for correct reasons, clearly. So she calls her friend confirms. I'm on the phone with my best friend basically because I need somebody to talk me off the ledge at this point. Like, I'm about to crash out bad. So she's like, my friend wants to talk to you. And I'm like, well, if she's on rah-rah right now, I'm not in that mental space. I just want to have a conversation where we can talk as women, right? So I'm now on a FaceTime call with my current boyfriend at the time. I don't even feel right saying his side piece because technically they dated, I think she said, since 2009, but they weren't in an actual relationship, but they always dealt with each other. So I just want to preface her without saying her name as his other person, like his other partner. So I'm on the phone with her. We're lining up dates, stories, pretty much lining up, flights, land times, departure times, everything. And essentially he was making the best out of his time in Atlanta because he actually lived in Virginia. Our whole 3 years was a long distance relationship, and he made the best out of his flights and his flight miles with Delta, baby, because he would tell me he would land on a Friday, but lo and behold, he was actually in Atlanta a day before, frolicking around the city with his other partner, then tell me to pick him up from the airport on Friday where he was, and then Correction, they were dealing with each other since 2019, but then she said in 2020 is when me and him got together. Because remember, y'all, at the beginning of part 1, I said this is 2023 when I'm in LA with him for his work trip. She said that they were dealing with each other and they stopped sort of kind of dealing with each other around 2020, which is when me and him got together. But they always dealt with each other during the entire 3 years that we were together. So we're lining up stories, we're talking, and we basically come to the fact that he's been cheating the entire time me and him have been together, the entire time him and her have been messing around. So he texts me ironically at this same time, and he's like, hey, how's dinner with your old coworkers? And at this point, the Scorpio in me plays it cool, because if you are a Scorpio, you know you're gonna line that shit up. Wait, and then empty the clip. Okay, so I'm like, oh, it's good. I'm actually headed back to the hotel. So I'll see you when you get there. I hope your dinner is going good with your team, right? So I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I ain't even about to even front on this app like I didn't like break down. I'm crying literally in front of my old coworkers and like breaking down, because like I've been with this man at this point for 3 years, and I always knew something was wrong, but I never had physical proof. But it was just a buildup of us always arguing about my issues with trust in him, and then him turning it and manipulating the situation when I would bring things up, and him turning it on me like I was the problem, when realistically he was the problem. He was a serial cheater, and I'll get to the serial part after. But anyway, so I break down, I'm crying. I call my male best friend who also lives in LA at the time, and I'm telling him everything. He's like, Sky, I knew something was off with him, because lo and behold, the day before, I wanted my male best friend, who was like my ride or die best friend, to meet him. So we did a double date, and he's like, I always felt like something was off with him. Like, as your male best friend, I'm telling you. So I'm breaking down, I'm crying, my male best friend, and he's like, Sky, don't go back to the hotel. Like, just basically leave that nigga on red in real life. Like, you know that you good. I'll drive you to the airport in the morning. Like, I got you. And I'm just like, the Scorpio on me is always going to want closure. The Scorpio on me is going to look you in your eyes and tell you, you been ain't shit, you still ain't shit, and your mama ain't shit because she decided to have your ain't shit ass. So that's exactly what I did. So I get to the hotel, and I want to make sure that I don't miss a fucking beat. So a bitch is journaling, right? And everything that I want to say down, right? Everything me and the girl discussed. And if you know me, I was a journalism major in college, so I can verbatim repeat what someone says to me and quote it back to you exactly the way you said it. You can tell me a whole 3 paragraph, and I'm gonna be sure to hit every main point and quote it back to you exactly the way you told it to me. Thank you to my professors. But anyway, so I'm writing everything down. So this motherfucker comes into the hotel and is fucking jolly and happy. I turn around in the fucking... So you know how in the movies when the villain turn around in a swivel chair like this? Pull one of those with my goofy ass. I'll pull one of those, and I turn around and I'm like, who's da-da-da-da? I say the girl's name. And he's like, huh? You know when niggas start lying, they act like they can't fucking hear. What you say? Bitch, you fucking heard me. Who is da-da-da-da? He's like, I don't know who you talking about. I said, okay, because I wasn't about to play these games with him. Like, you done played me for a fool for 3 years. Now I'm on your ass. I said, I'm going to tell you what I know, and you stop me when I'm lying. Run down every fucking thing. The bullet points, the quotes, the dates, the flights, the fucking flight numbers, tail numbers to the fucking airplanes, Delta, everything. Running that shit down. He's like, that's a lie. I ain't seen that girl since 2019. And right there, I knew it was when I fucking caught his ass. Because, bitch, you hit the nail on the head 2019. Because that's what she told me. Yeah. So then we're talking. And I'm basically telling him everything I know. Everything me and the girl talked about. How I know how this random ass dinner that I went to with my coworkers turned into Skylar's life being flipped upside down. And everything I thought I knew, I actually knew. And I was not fucking seeing shit, thinking shit. I was hitting the fucking nail on the head every motherfucking time. So he's still sitting here trying to lie. He like, that girl, she just jealous. She just mad. Me and you, we good. We've been in this relationship. She just mad that I moved on. I said, mad that you moved on since 2019? Ain't no, bitch. Ever gonna be mad that long? Ever. So then, at this right divine timing, the girl FaceTimes me. And the nigga still was trying to lie, y'all. He still was trying to lie. He's talking about some... The girl is basically calling him everything but a child of God. That girl ripped him. Power to her. Because girl was coming up with shit I ain't never even heard. So, as a narcissist that he is, the girl is literally tearing him to shreds, but then she gets to the point of being like heartfelt and sincere and basically like expressing that he hurt her. So he starts laughing like, you psychopath, you are laughing at someone's pain. Like, and I'm just, keep in mind, it's as if I'm not even in this room. Like, they're having a full-blown conversation as if I'm not there. Like, I am not there at this point. I'm literally just a fly on a wall. So he starts laughing, and I'm looking at him like, are you a fucking idiot? Are you psycho? So then he's laughing and the girl basically starts ripping him more because he's laughing. So then he hangs up the phone on her, and he's like, she's lying. He's still saying that she's lying. So she's like, I text her, I'm like, he said that you lying. I'm just delivering the message at this point, because at this rate, I'm just a fly on the wall. I no longer exist. I am no longer even a third wheel at this point. So she sends screen recordings of their text messages, their conversations, their exchanges, everything. So then, now that I finally have the screen recordings, because you know you can't doctor that shit. Like, you can't say somebody is lying off of a screen recording. Like, you just can't. So he's like, all right. I mean, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. This nigga started fucking crying. This is what I'm saying about narcissistic people and people who are actually mentally ill and insane, who actually need to go see a therapist and an actual doctor and what's a brain surgeon. Because he starts crying and made himself the fucking victim, y'all. He made himself the victim while he is over here cheating and lying. Like, he really made himself the victim. Like, it was a mistake. He trying to make it seem like it happened once. Meanwhile, they having conversations that stem back months. Meanwhile, he telling her when he land. When was this? This was like March or May. And in February, he telling her when he land. Like, it wasn't a one-time thing, boo. This nigga started crying. Wow. So then, I'm trying to find a way to not make this like a whole 50 story long. So I'm gonna make one more after this. But essentially, long story short, we ended up at the hotel, going back and forth. Nobody is sleeping, arguing, yelling the whole night. We get on the plane, and the girl is genius. I swear, if you find that your man is cheating, these are the things you should do. You know how you have listers where you call people for quotes, like a cleaning service to clean your carpet, your car, maids, or whatever. She put his number on the lister, so literally all these businesses kept on calling him the whole time we there. All of them kept on calling. Then she put him on a registry where, you know how like there are Christian groups, and if you're gay, they want to convert you back to being straight, like the Christian way. She put him on a lister for that. So he was getting calls, emails, even Bibles sent to him, telling him that his lifestyle of being gay was wrong. This bitch was fucking genius. I tell you. Applause to fucking her. Because that bitch had that nigga stressing. Okay? Stressing, honey. And so essentially, that's my story about how I found out my man was cheating on me when I went with him to LA on a work trip. When I went to a random dinner with coworkers that I haven't seen in, like, at that point, maybe like between 6 months to 8 months. And then I told you I was going to get to the serial part later, but this is the last video. So long story short, he's a serial cheater because, like I said, we were dating 3 years. I lived in Atlanta. He lived in Virginia. We were long distance the whole entire time. And to my knowledge, he dated me, the girl that I found out when I was in LA that cheated on me. He was dating another girl who was his coworker. And he basically, I was the person who had to come to her as a woman at that point because she was in LA with him after me and him had this whole debacle in LA. And I basically told her that he was cheating on her. And our relationship and his relationship overlapped for almost a year. And then I found out that he was also dating another girl in Atlanta as well that he took on a ski trip with his best friends who also happened to be ain't shit. But yeah. So, women, intuition is never wrong. If you feel like something is up, something is up. And don't be a dummy and wait 3 years like me until you have tangible proof of a woman FaceTiming you and telling you everything about your man. So, if your gut says something is wrong, honey. Don't ignore her because your intuition is never wrong. That bitch is always right. Like Einstein. Always the fuck right. So, listen to her because she's there for a reason. Okay? And then also, another thing, don't date men from Virginia. Okay, and if you want to know exactly who I'm talking about, if you know, you know. If you don't and you want to know, and if you want to do is this the nigga because you talking to that nigga, DM me. I got you, sis. Bye. All right, y'all, just to clarify some details because I realized that as I'm watching it back, some of them were like mixed up. So actually, this is 2023 when I'm in LA with him and I find out all of this shit happens. He was dating the girl up until 2019, and prior to 2019, they were on and off in a relationship. But after 2019 and into 2020, they just were like dealing with each other casually. if you get what I'm saying. And there was an overlap the entire time that me and him were together from 2020 to 2023 with me and the girl. And there also was another overlap between me and another girl from 2000 and basically January or December of 2022 all the way into 2023. And then there was overlap between me, her, and another girl all of 2023. So just to clarify some of the details, but stay tuned because I'm pretty sure I have another story time about another guy that I was dating.
All right. I don't know what my boy crying for. Shit, you got all the hoes, bruh. What you crying for? That crying shit, that shit don't be working, man. What the fuck is you crying for? When you be crying and shit, that don't do nothing but make the woman look at you like, they don't look at you the same. They don't look at you like a masculine man no more. And what are you crying for anyway? Like, you got different hoes on standby. But, damn, she didn't have to put my boy on the registry list and all of that stuff. But, typical cheating type thing. I mean, ladies, let me be honest with y'all. I mean, what do you expect to happen when you're out of the state? When you're not in the same state? Usually, most of the time, that out of the state stuff, that stuff doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. When you live in a different state, you trying to have that long distance relationship, that shit doesn't work out, man. It just doesn't. I tried to do something like that before. That shit don't work, y'all. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Man, we be having the urge to get it in. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that every man is gonna cheat, but most of them are. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. So if you in a long distance relationship, man, unless your dude just like a square, even the squares, you heard her say he was having a relationship with a woman at his job. So, but even if your man is a square, man, like, we be having the urge, man, to have sex. You know what I'm saying? And if you not there to satisfy that urge, I mean, what you think gonna happen? So, like I said, I'm not saying every situation is like this, but most of them are, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah. So, I don't know what you expect, So, 3 years, long distance, and you not here? Oh, no, I need you to come here. We can probably do this long distance shit for about a year. After that, hey, I need you to come on. You know what I'm saying? Unless you flying out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Unless you flying out a lot. I was doing a lot of flying out. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to do something like this. But, man, that shit, it don't work, fellas. You know what I'm saying? It don't work, ladies. So, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I guess everything in the dark gonna come to the light. Because what a coincidence that you're out with a coworker and you find this out. Boy, mysterious ways the higher power be working. That's crazy. But, that's just how things go. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this story time. Y'all let me know what y'all think about long distance relationships. Drop a comment in the comment below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. It's your boy Ray, Big Play Ray, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all know I'm releasing 3 videos a day now, so make sure you subscribe. We got these story times for y'all coming in hot. Peace.